say your little piece.
I'm sorry I took the money.
That's it.
I'm sorry I took the money. I'm sorry! I'm
enough.
sorry!
That's enough, Howie. That's enough, dear.
I'm
That's
awfully
just fine.
sorry.
That's fine. Now, boys,
sorry.
all the money is here. Come along, Howie.
Sorry.
And I just want to apologize to you again and tell you how sorry I am about the mistake. And if there's anything at all I can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. Come along, Howie.
Sorry. I'm not sorry I took the money.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. And I didn't plan on making a video about the whole Austin Evans new PS5 is actually worse debacle bullshit. Because to be honest, the entire internet was already ripping this dude a new asshole. Everybody was already on it making their videos. And I felt like, you know what? At this point, my video really wouldn't be necessary. And because I was kind of late to the party anyway, it would have just seemed like I was just doing it because everybody else was. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It looks like the internet got this one. I'm going to give this dude a pass. But then... But then he goes and makes this half-ass apology, but not apology. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Fuck you video. And I'm like, oh, no. no. Now we're gonna have that talk. Now we're gonna have that chat. Because I don't like when people spread misinformation. Now, before I even get into the video, I just want to say that Austin Evans claims that because of this, he was doxxed. And that is super fucking uncool. Like, doxing is bitch move numero uno. It's the absolute bitchest thing that you could possibly do. And it's just very fucked up because you need to understand that people out there are fucking crazy. Like, someone could easily go and murder this dude over this fucking PS5 thing. It's not even a big deal, right? Someone can go murder him over this because people have killed other people for far less. So doxing people is never fucking cool. And anyone that's laughing about it or trying to make light of the situation, if he actually was doxed, that is fucked up as well. Doxing, not cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's recap what happened for those of you who don't know. So PlayStation released a revised version of the PlayStation 5 console, and Austin Evans was one of the first people to get his hand on said console. So what did he do? He ripped it apart to see what's different, and he immediately noticed it has a different fan and a much smaller heatsink. He then ran some thermal testing between the original PlayStation 5 and this new revised version, and noticed that the heat at the exhaust point was warmer on the new PlayStation 5. That led Austin Evans to say that the new PlayStation 5 was running hotter. Now, I'm going to explain in a little bit why that statement is not necessarily true. Austin Evans would then put on a lab coat and come to the determination that due to his testing, the new PlayStation 5 was worse than the current PlayStation 5 that was out. Now, there's something I want to explain to you about all of these tech tubers, or at least most of these tech tubers. See, Austin Evans, he's just a fucking guy. He's just a guy who has a really popular YouTube channel with really high production value. But Austin Evans is not a mechanical engineer. Austin Evans is not a software engineer. Austin Evans does not have a degree in thermodynamics. He's just a fucking nerdy looking dude with a really popular YouTube channel. But the problem is because his channel is so big and because the production value is so high, when people watch these channels, they just assume that Austin knows what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, how do you become a channel that's so popular and has to do with tech if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? Right? The problem is, he doesn't always know what the fuck he's talking about. And that is big time what's happening in this case here. Now, let me explain to you why Austin's statement that the new PS5 is running hotter is not necessarily correct. Because for most people who watch this video, they probably just watched and said, okay, the heat coming out of the original PlayStation 5 is 52 degrees Celsius, and then the heat coming out of the new PlayStation 5 is 55 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, it runs hotter. But no, that's not necessarily true. And this is why. Austin is not measuring the internal temperature of the PlayStation 5. He's not measuring the temperature at the chip. He's measuring the temperature of the air as it is exiting the PlayStation 5. Now, that could mean, it could very well mean that the PlayStation 5 is indeed running hotter. It could also mean that the PlayStation 5 is just doing a much better job of ventilating the air from inside of the console. Austin Evans does not know which it is. He can't say for certainty that it is the machine running hotter because he doesn't know if it's the machine running hotter or the machine ventilating better. So what Austin Evans should have said is the new PlayStation 5 is outputting heat at a higher temperature than the original PlayStation 5. That would be an accurate statement that everybody can agree on. But the new PlayStation 5 runs hotter. That is not a statement that he can make with 100% certainty that everybody can agree on. It's just not. And for him to just make that statement and then say it's worse than the original PlayStation 5 because of it is irresponsible. The dude's got 5 million subs and that video has 1.7 million views. Like, you can't just make statements that you don't know are true, right? The other thing is, at that heat, 55 degrees Celsius, in that video, Austin would say that he felt that that could have negative long-term effects on the performance of the console. The funny thing is that the new PlayStation 5 was outputting heat at the same temperature as when he did thermal testing with the Xbox Series X. And in that case, when he thermal tested the Xbox Series X, he was impressed by the thermals. Not sure how they were able to get that machine to run so cool. But with the new, worse PlayStation 5, it could have negative long-term impact on performance. Well, fucking which one is it, buddy? Which one is it? Because if you really believe that that temperature could have negative long-term impacts on performance, well then where's your fucking disclaimer for the Xbox Series X? It's reasons like this that people don't fucking like tech tubers and why people don't like Austin Evans. But anyway, he said all that shit in that video, right? And then the internet rightfully ripped him a new asshole. Claims he was doxxed, which, like I said, if that's the case, that's fucked up. But the internet ripped him a new asshole, so he made this new kind of non-apology video. And let's go through some of it so I can correct some of the dumb shit he's gonna say in this one, because he again goes through and in this video continues to make statements that are not necessarily true.
So if you've seen that video, you know that I go through and test a bunch of stuff with it and blah, blah, blah. But the culmination really was when I actually cracked it open and saw that they have massively reduced the size of the heatsink. And so I posted the video, sharing my findings, sharing my opinions on it.
Pause. Sharing his opinions on it? He never once said, you know, in my opinion, I think the new PS5 may be worse. Or, you know, in my opinion, the new PS5 is worse. No, he said, the new PS5 is worse. Not in my opinion, not I think, he just said, the new PS5 is worse. Nothing in his previous video made it feel or seem like it was his opinion. It seemed like he was just simply telling you the findings of his testing. Back to his shit.
And, boy, I was not ready for just how upset I think people are. So yeah, let's break it down. What I saw was that the new PS5 runs hotter.
Wrong. What he was able to see is that the new PS5 outputs heat at a higher temperature. This does not necessarily mean that it is running hotter.
And with the thermal images that I was able to take, plus the fact that I tore open the PS5 and saw that Sony has significantly reduced the size of the heatsink, putting two and two together, I determined that it is a downgrade compared to the first model. Now, a lot of people have taken issue with that. Some people have said that, oh, maybe it's more like thermally efficient, for example. But my argument there would be that just doesn't square with the laws of physics.
It just does not square with the laws of physics. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Austin Evans is a physicist? Oh, wait, hold on. What's that? oh shit, he's not. He's not a fucking physicist. So this dude's gonna, okay, so I'm expecting if he's gonna tell us that it doesn't, square with the laws of physics, I wanna see a fucking whiteboard and this dude breaking down all the fucking ways that this does not square with the laws of physics. Break it down, explain to us the science of how this doesn't square with the laws of physics. But he ain't gonna do that because he can't. He's just saying it doesn't square with the laws of physics. He has no fucking idea.
Now, if I had opened up the PS5 and it was a very different array of like the heatsink and the fins and the heat pipes and everything, if they had like extra air channels or a bigger fan or whatever the case is, and to be fair, the fan was slightly different, although it probably wasn't enough to make a massive difference. Certainly, I don't think enough to completely overhaul the amount of sort of cooling that they've removed with the actual heatsink, then sure. But that's not the case.
How does he know? Did he do any testing to see if that new fan moves air at the same volume as the previous fan? Did he do any testing to see if the new fan moves air at a higher volume than the previous fan? Did he do any testing on the fan at all? No. And then when people came at him with, maybe that fan does a better job, he just says, nah, that's not the case. He has no fucking idea.
The PS5, it just simply has a smaller heatsink. There's less aluminum, there's less copper, there's less material, there's 300 grams less. And the laws of physics pretty simply dictate that there's less material and less surface area to remove that heat off of the chip.
The fucking laws of physics again, right? Again, from the non-physicist, he wants to talk about the laws of physics. The laws of physics dictate that there's not enough surface area to dissipate the heat as well. And he is correct about that. The problem is if he wants to put on his fucking lab coat and act like a goddamn scientist, that fan that he discredited, that fan where the fucking blades go all the way in to the fucking center, the laws of physics also would have dictated that there is a lot more surface area in that fan to move air more efficiently. I mean, if we're going to talk about the laws of physics, let's talk about the laws of physics, right? Also, if you're going to be a scientist, if there were two main changes made to the PlayStation 5, one being the fan and one being the heatsink, you can't sit there and put on your fucking lab coat and your scientist hat and talk about the way that the laws of physics affect just the heatsink and then completely disregard the fan and just say, that fan don't do shit. See what I'm saying? But see, a scientist, which Austin Evans tries to act like he is, a scientist would have tested these things. They would have tested how much air that new fan moves. But Austin is not a scientist. He's just a fucking guy with a tech-related YouTube channel.
Now, can I tell you with 1,000% certainty that the chip, which is really the most important thing on the inside, that the actual SoC is running hotter than the original model? No. Without being Sony, I cannot tell you exactly what that is.
So then why the fuck are you telling people the new PlayStation 5 runs hotter? If you just admitted that you cannot tell us if the new PlayStation 5 is running hotter, then why the fuck are you?
But using some what I would consider to be common sense, that the cooling apparatus is far smaller and therefore the temperatures I'm seeing that are coming out of the system are significantly higher, I feel pretty confident in the fact that the new PS5 simply does not run as cool as the original.
I like how Austin says, using common sense. Because let's be honest, whenever someone says using common sense, all they're really trying to do is make the person who's listening agree with them, because if they don't agree, then they're an idiot, right? Well, common sense says this, so if you don't agree with this, you're a fucking idiot. So Austin says using common sense, and the viewers go, oh, he used common sense, so that must be right. Fucking Austin and his common sense. Common sense would have said a lot of things. Common sense would have said that testing the exhaust heat from the console doesn't tell you the internal temperature of the PlayStation 5. Common sense would have told him that he can't just say the new PlayStation 5 is worse without actually knowing. Common sense would have said a lot of shit.
When the video first went live, there were a few people who were like, oh, I don't know, blah, 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 whatever. But over the last few days, I mean, my Twitter has been absolutely unusable. People like fuck you, Microsoft paid you, or like, oh, you're wrong, the amount of videos people have made. And look, I'm not gonna hate on you for jumping on a trend and making this stuff, but the amount of like, Austin Evans is a liar, the PS5 is no different, or oh, I think that the thermal material they took out there, that's completely useless, and all this kind of stuff. But what's kind of happened is that a lot of the things I said in that initial video, they were written up on like lots of articles and websites and all over like Reddit and stuff. And then people have then quoted that and then made videos on like intercutting me talking about the PlayStation and the Xbox and in ways that it's gotten to a ridiculous sort of degree really quickly.
That's what happens when you have one of the most popular tech channels on YouTube, when you're one of the most popular tech personalities on YouTube, and you make bullshit, irresponsible statements. Sorry that there was a lot of negative backlash. Maybe next time you should be more careful about the shit that you say. Because when you have 5 million followers and get videos that get millions of views, and you say something like the new PlayStation 5 not only runs hotter, but is worse, when you absolutely have no fucking idea if that's true, that may piss some people off.
At no point have I said that the PS5 is losing performance or anything like that. All I have said is that based on my own testing, it seems to be running hotter, which would logically make sense with a smaller heatsink, and therefore you could have some issues down the line.
I mean, that's basically the same shit, right? I mean, like, is he saying the new PS5 is less powerful? No. But does he say that the new PS5 has performance issues? No. But he 100% implies that the new PS5 could have performance issues down the road versus the original PS5.
You could have some issues down the line if you're in a really thermally constrained environment, like it's got like you're in a TV cabinet or something. Your PS5 may run hotter, it may have less longevity.
He also never mentioned anything about constrained environments in the original video. He didn't say, oh, you may have issues long term with this new PS5 if you're in tight spaces. He just straight said you may have long term performance issues with this new PS5 because it runs hotter. Period. End of story. The bottom line is Austin Evans is making claims that he does not know are true. Saying things like the new PlayStation 5 runs hotter when he admitted that he has no way of knowing that's true is irresponsible. Saying things like the new PlayStation 5 is worse when he doesn't know if that's true is irresponsible. When you have 5 million subs and videos that get millions of views, you have to be careful about what you say. So he's absolutely in the wrong. And the fact that he makes this new video because of the negative backlash he's gotten, and rightfully fucking so, and not only doesn't fucking retract his original statement, but pretty much double downs on it, I'm at a loss for words. This dude's just a fucking asshole. He's an absolute asshole. People have explained to him why you were wrong. All he has to say to fix this situation is, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. I don't know for a fact if the new PlayStation 5 is hotter, and I don't know for a fact if the new PlayStation 5 is worse. I chose my words poorly, and I'm sorry. That's it. I mean, would it make everything go away? No, but at least he would have owned up to the fact that he's basically spewing bullshit without any evidence. But no, Austin Evans goes out there and basically says, sorry but not sorry, fuck you. And then cries about getting negative backlash, like we're supposed to feel sorry for him. Like, hey, if you got doxxed, I feel sorry that you got doxxed. But any negative backlash you've gotten on social media, Twitter, YouTube, buddy, you earned that shit. With this new video, I imagine you got some more coming your way. Again, everyone needs to understand that Austin Evans is not a scientist. He's not a physicist. He doesn't fucking have a degree in thermodynamics, mechanical engineering. None of that shit. He's just a dude who has a tech-related YouTube channel. And it's funny because at some point in the video, he did make, the point that, oh, I've been making tech-related YouTube videos for 12 years. Like, so fucking what? So because you had a YouTube channel where you talked about tech for 12 years, that makes you a tech expert? You know what having a YouTube channel about tech for 12 years means? That you've had a YouTube channel for 12 years about tech. That's all it means. It does not make you a tech expert. But the problem is with these guys, especially these guys higher up at the top, your Linus Tech Tips, your Austin Evans, they start to believe that they're tech experts because they have these large platforms with millions of subscribers and they get millions of views on their videos. They start to really believe that they're fucking tech experts. And they're not. But when they have platforms as big as they have, They do have a responsibility to make sure that the information that they are providing people and the things that they're saying are A, true, and B, factually accurate. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. I just hope this video helps some people understand why the things that Austin Evans said are not necessarily true, and understand why he's getting the backlash he's getting, which in my opinion is well deserved. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys on this one. And that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think that Austin Evans is wrong? Or do you think that everything he said is perfectly fine and warranted? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next Supernova.